Thanks for staying with us. Now, breastfeeding is one of the most effective ways to protect the baby's health and survival. Doctors say it acts as their first vaccine against diseases like pneumonia and diarrhea. But today, only 48% of babies under 6 months are exclusively breastfed, and that's far below the global target of 60% by 2030. The gap has been attributed to weak health systems, lack of trained staff, and little support for new mothers. Only 1 in 5 countries trains health workers on infant feeding. That often reportedly leaves many mothers without guidance when they leave the hospital. The World Health Organization and UNICEF are now calling on governments to increase funding, train health workers, and integrate breastfeeding support into every stage of care. And that's from pregnancy to postnatal visits. Experts say every dollar invested in breastfeeding yields $35 in returns, making it a smart health, moral, and economic choice. A certified lactation consultant and infant feeding specialist, Dr. Chini Obiwane, joins me live for more on this. Good to have you join us, Dr. Chini.
Thank you so much for having me.
Interesting conversation. I'm very sure this is one that a lot of people we shy away from, because when you look at videos online, mothers who breastfeed their children, the kind of stigma they get to go through, you will know that today is not, the normal day. But I wanted to ask you, just in terms of the stereotype around breastfeeding, how well we have managed to at least reduce the stereotype.
So moms outside, we've come to a world where the breast has been sexualized. So many people, when they talk about the breast, it's more of like, if you see a mom nursing online, people attack her. So we kind of focus on the other benefits of the breast than the initial reason why it was made. So the breast is made with mammary tissue, glands that will help a woman secrete breast milk for her baby. So when we focus on the sexuality part of it, women start feeling uncomfortable to feed their baby outside. And before you know it, that mom starts wanting to introduce bottle, and that in turn affects her breastfeeding journey. Also online, we find that moms, like when you see moms that have relatives, their grandparents, the understanding with breastfeeding clashes. So when a mom is coming to say a few things, oh, I need to breastfeed exclusively, I don't need water, the elderly family member is against it, making the mom feel like she's overdoing. So there's just this struggle for young moms, for experienced moms to just keep up with breastfeeding. And as well, when you talk about people that have to go back to work, mom having to balance, there is such a big change that comes with breastfeeding. Once you have gone from like pregnancy and enter breastfeeding, it's taxing, it's demanding. So women need like a lot of support and the awareness, the understanding. But what I find is that a lot of people don't really know. They understand the benefits of breastfeeding to a baby, but they don't understand the depth of it, and they don't understand the full difference between breastfeeding and any other alternative. So many women just carry on doing it based on their own limited understanding.
And I've also heard stereotypes like if you breastfeed a child for too long, you're going to have a child who is too attached to the mother and act maybe a bit stupidly, not being able to think for themselves. And those are some of the stereotypes, and I'm wondering, how do we deal with this and enable young mothers to actually breastfeed their children?
So there's a lot of it, and this one that you mentioned now is common. You see moms that have 1-year-old and 2-year-olds, and they're being attacked for feeding. I personally had my own experience where a family member said I was now feeding the baby my blood, no longer the breast milk. So it just comes down to the education. So once everyone is aware of the components of breast milk when you're feeding a 1-year-old, why breast milk is the primary nutrition within the first 1 year. And even after 1 year, WHO recommends to keep breastfeeding until the baby gets to 2 years or beyond. There is benefit of breast milk to a toddler. The longer a toddler breastfeeds, the more the advantages of breast milk in that baby stretches. The way it increases their benefit more than if they got it for a limited time. Even though we know, like, no matter the amount of breast milk, even if it's a drop, it makes a huge impact in a baby's life. But the longer a baby breastfeeds, it's beneficial to the baby as much as the mom. So even a toddler, the breast milk helps with their skin, their hair, their eyes. There are just so many things that breast milk is still doing for a toddler that you see that runs around and still comes back to the breast. So we need to just balance that with educating the older generation, educating the younger generation, equipping them with everything they need to sustainably do that breastfeeding journey.
I mean, that perhaps speaks to the importance of midwives in the process, especially for mothers and you know, they are probably their own mother and then, you know, mother-in-laws. But I wanted to also speak to the issue of mothers who, because you have talked about the benefit for the child, mothers who are not able to breastfeed for one reason or the other, very legitimate reasons. And some are now calling for, like you have the blood bank, maybe the breast milk bank as well. And I want to get your thoughts on how healthy that is.
Yes, so in terms of breastfeeding, I know breastfeeding is challenging and it's not everyone that may have all the milk they need for their baby, but we have ways of helping them to increase their breast milk supply. In a case where it's not possible due to one or two reasons, the mom is not able to, according to WHO, when a baby is not able to get the breast milk from the mom directly, the next best option is breast milk pumped by the mom, and the next best option after that is breast milk from a pasteurized donor, breast milk from a milk bank, pasteurized donor breast milk from a milk bank. So if a mom is not able to get her own milk, she can give her baby pasteurized milk from a milk bank. And we have one that we set up in Nigeria, and it's beneficial. Why? Because we know that breast milk, no matter the process it has gone through, it still contains those living cells, it still contains those particles, enzymes, molecules, antibodies, antiparasites, antivirals, all those things that we know that are very beneficial to a newborn, beneficial to a toddler. So I encourage moms. I know within Nigeria it's not very much accepted. People have like their beliefs, but this is the standard care abroad. And because we have one in Nigeria, we have mothers that have newborns in the neonatal ICU, and these babies need breast milk to survive. Because when a premature newborn does not get breast milk, they have a higher risk of having a deadly disease with their gut that causes them to die. So we encourage moms to
we have to
give their babies.
I hope that, you know, Mothers Society and just even the government is listening, because it will take everybody's effort to ensure that breastfeeding is seamless. Thank you so much for your time. It's a certified lactation consultant and infant feeding specialist, Dr. Chini Obiwani.
Thank you so much for having me.